Excuse me. Question for the ladies out there. Is this appropriate or inappropriate behavior to the degree that it warrants a man, hopefully being myself or anybody else, or a woman, speaking up and saying something in objection? So, the example is today I'm waiting to get my hair cut, and I dare say a typical older generation white ochre low class Australian male walks in. Now everybody waiting for a haircut is being mostly quiet, patient and respectful. The man who walks in is loud, pushy and obnoxious. He walks in, maybe this is another point of discussion, but he's fat, which is not an issue for anybody. But when you combine it with this arrogant, obnoxious, self-entitled attitude, I have a huge problem with that. From the perspective of it being like disgusting and dirty to be so fat, as in gimme, 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 but so loud and demanding at the same time. So it's like I could not care that I'm disgusting in my health and my taking nature of food and my disrespect and disregard for others in not so caring about my appearance and letting my gut hanging out for all to see, and furthermore taking it to one of anyway. So he comes in, he's loud, he demands for change of his money to operate the hair ticket booking machine. The Japanese girl quickly and, as is common, perhaps over politely, perhaps, well, not in this case, just quickly comes over and helps the man sort out of his change. And he's very loud and overly clear in saying, yes, I want 120, 2 10s, 2 5s. Yep, give it here, and then shoves the money in the machine and is impatient, waiting for it to, this machine isn't working, trying to get the ticket for his haircut, and what's going on here, and totally disrespectful of all the quiet, patiently waiting people to get their haircut, etc. Anyway, to make a long story short, so while he's doing that, another guy, again, you could argue is a typical blue collar, or comes across typical blue collar white Australian male, who says a comment like, supporting the fat, obnoxious guy, saying, we'll be here all night at this rate. Or we'll be here till 9 o'clock at night by the time you get the change for this ticket, or something like that. So he supports this rude, arrogant, obnoxious man. So me witnessing that, that's where I'm like, should I do something? Now, I'm pissed off about it. I fucking hate that culture. And furthermore, I hate, to a super high level, the support of that other guy. Supporting and encouraging that nature, like, as if he's what? Like, the guy hasn't been funny in any way, but the guy sitting there getting his haircut is sort of making out like he's being funny. Like, yeah, we're going to be here all day if you don't get your change sorted out. Like, as if he's ha ha ha. Yeah, let's be rude, fat, arrogant, obnoxious. Who gives a fuck? These are just little Japaneses. They may as well be fucking slaves. Ha ha ha. Yeah, let's rub it in their face. So me seeing that guy talking like that, whoa, that activates my fucking, I'm about to kill a motherfucker. And I must say something. But where I'm confused, ladies, is, am I just responding out of my beliefs, whereas I'm unaware of the female's beliefs? So I don't know, maybe I'm getting more pissed off and upset and offended about the situation than the girl is. Now, because maybe the girl is so preoccupied in getting the change and making sure that the man is happy and gets his haircut ticket and gets back to doing the haircut of her other customer. She's so preoccupied with that, she's not actually offended. So if she's not offended, should I be offended? And no one else sitting there saying anything. So if I'm the only one, of course I'm assuming this, getting offended or getting as offended, maybe it's best I say nothing. Which I did. I was super tempted. I was that close to saying something or starting, because obviously anything I say is going to be negative and it's going to lead to some kind of altercation, which I don't have a problem with to a degree. But if they're going to be obnoxious back, it's going to start a fight verbally, and it could very well lead to physically, and that's not going to be good. But I'm all for the greater good. So that's the end of the story. And I'd like a genuine response. What would you ladies have me do? What if it was you? Maybe try and look at it from two perspectives. If it was you, from the perspective of you were focused on keeping your job and getting the change and getting back to the haircut, and you didn't really acknowledge so much the arrogant, loud, obnoxious, fat, white, Australian ochre man. You're too busy focusing on your customer service, looking good in front of your employer, sorting out the change, looking after the customer. Because at the end of the day, he hasn't actually swore or started a fight or anything. He's just being loud and demanding and just an overall unpleasant look and attitude and way of talking. But he hasn't actually said anything specifically out of line or insulting or anything. It's just his overall presence. But then there's also the other customer to consider who encouraged that behavior. So yeah, so I'd love some feedback from the females on what's your attitude and thoughts towards both of them. What would you do if you were the worker? What would you do if you were sitting there as a customer and overlooked this situation? What do you think is the most appropriate behavior? And what would you think is the best thing I should have, could have, would you have liked me to have done? Please leave your comments below.